Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Well, welcome back to Beacon House Podcast, everybody. We know it's been a while, and sorry for that, but we will catch you guys back up to speed. Before we start anything off, I want to say hey to my charming and lovely co-host, Grace Steele. Grace, how's it going?
It's going really good. How are you doing, Spencer? It's been a minute.
Yes, it has been a minute. I've been busier than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Is that how you say that? I've been busy.
I've never even heard of that saying.
I've been busy as shit. Yes, we all have, and that's why we haven't done an episode in a little while, you guys. Thank you for waiting on us, and we hope that you're still here listening to this episode after we've been gone for a little while. Last episode we did was the hot wing episode, which you remember.
I do. I've been miserable after.
Yes, it was
rough.
Nice.
It was fun, but it was quite miserable.
I think we got in a little over our heads on that one.
We did, especially with one of the last ones. I think with the very last one, it was horrible.
It was horrible. The bomb.
Yeah.
It hurt so bad.
It did. It was immediate pain. It wasn't like it came on, but it got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. I now believe
we survived.
I now believe on the Hot Ones show when I see it now, and they go from like one to the next one to the next one, and they go to that one we did, the bomb, and they go past it. I now believe there's a lot of editing that goes into that show.
There has to be. There's no way.
There's no way all these celebrities just go straight from the next one to the next one. I mean, you see them visibly, but there's got to be like 45 minutes in between some of those where they're just like gagging.
Yeah. It was bad. It was fun. I'd love to do something else like that. I know a lot of people loved it. They listened to it. Definitely the beer challenges.
Yeah, and hopefully we've got more of those coming up. We definitely have plans. Just the holidays got everybody by storm, and it took us a minute to get back with you guys. So we hope all you guys had a good holiday. Grace, let's talk about how were your holidays? How did it go?
Holidays were they were good, stressful. I had to work.
Yeah,
but it was good. Spent some time with family.
Yeah, family's important.
Didn't go out all this year buying gifts. I got each person I care about like a good, nice gift.
Yeah.
But I normally spend like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That's like my love language that I show to people. Is gift giving.
That's really good.
It's not necessarily me getting gifts. Like I'm more of like spend time with me, do things with me. But I like to buy gifts for people.
I think that's lovely. Now, you and I did get together.
We did.
Right before Christmas Eve, and we went to an awesome little service at Awaken in the Old City, which is that's my friend Adam's church over there, and it's also a fabulous little coffee shop that's open all the time. But they're great coffee, and they're just like great people. What did you think? It's a pretty cool bunch.
I thought it was lovely,
chill.
It was very chill. It was basically if you grew up in the South, going to church, and you have a bad experience with church, this is the place you want to go to get back into it.
See, I thought that too.
I think it's amazing.
I never had a bad experience with the church, but I never really had an experience with church. Like my family went to Sunday school for a minute when we were little, and then we just kind of quit. So I don't come from like a overly religious family. Like I think
like every Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah, we didn't do that stuff.
We did.
A lot of people I know did, but
and Friday nights.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like
3 days a week church?
Yeah.
Shit.
My mom was like in the music. She was like with a music director for one of these small churches I went. So like I'd have to go with her after school.
I'll tell you, I've been to churches that I love, and I've been to churches that I really did not love for various reasons, but I've never, ever had a bad experience at Awaken. And they just seem, again, I can't say enough nice things about it. If you're looking, I can't recommend it enough because they're
I really
super
liked
cool.
It.
They're chill. They're non-judgmental, and just they're there for you, and they do a lot of good stuff. Like they don't just posturize. Like they put their, like when we were leaving that night, they were on their way out to hand out blankets to the people that were cold,
the homeless, little bags. Yeah. It was awesome. I really appreciate you going with me and then and telling me about it.
It's pretty cool.
I really liked it. It made it feel a little bit more Christmassy. It was nice.
And man, it's been a couple of years since I've always thought those little candlelit services were sweet and they were real cool and. I don't know. Like I've always gotten just a kind of a nice feeling from those. I don't want to turn this into like an overly because this has never been an overly religious or religious podcast at all, for that matter. But I've always felt something kind of special at those services, various places. It's been years since I've been able to go. So this year, the planets just aligned and I was able to not be at work and go. A lot of times I think it's because it's Christmas Eve and I always have to work on Christmas Eve. But this year,
making it Friday, where usually people have plans Christmas Eve and then Christmas, so it's very difficult to go.
Yes.
So I think it's also important that churches like make their services more convenient to their audience, or to us people who work constantly. Because I worked Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and it was. I hate to say that people were not generous on Christmas.
Man.
They really weren't. Like, they would, thank you for being here. Thank you for working. Like one person stiffed one of my coworkers.
I went out a little bit that night with some friends because I got a late start on Christmas because we just had the cold apocalypse. The coldest winter of that I can remember in the history of Knoxville, at least since I've been alive, I think.
I was hoping someone would have stuck their tongue on a pole.
Dude, it was so cold. It was single digits for like 2 days and like below freezing for like 4 days. And then we had snow. Like by the way, we're cutting this like 2 days after Christmas, but like it snowed and like
the
yesterday,
day after, like at 4 p.m., I was heading into work and it was just coming down. I was like so upset. All I wanted was to build a snowman. That was all I wanted to do. Couldn't, got stuck, had to leave my car when I got off work.
My friend, Georgia, who's our friend who's the award-winning trapeze artist, and she has a coworker who's like real cranky, so she made a snowman and she gave it like mean eyebrows to look like our coworker. It was really fun. I said, this is the angriest snow I've ever seen. So shout out Georgia. But also, my pipes were frozen and I let them drip too. Like the night we went to that Christmas service, I had water and everything. I turned the water on, let it run a little bit, came home. Apparently, I didn't drip it enough because I had no water.
You gotta leave it running, I guess.
Yeah, and supposedly when it's that cold, 2 or 3 different faucets, not just one.
Yeah.
News to me. And I was lecturing everybody like, hey, you better let your pipes drip, blah, 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 blah. And I was the one that like got frozen water.
Well, that's what happened at my house. So I've been pet sitting in North Knoxville, East Knoxville area, and I did let the pipes drip because you said, where's the manhole, do the farthest faucet. That was you, right?
Yes.
That told me that. Yeah. So I did that. Their pipes didn't freeze. It was fine. But my house, no water. My sister's been there by herself with the 3 dogs since Christmas Eve.
Oh, man.
So it was, And when did your water get turned back on?
Literally this morning.
Yeah, ours was at 3 p.m. this afternoon.
So one of my little rituals that I do nowadays is I go. So I have a couple. Again, not to give this like a dark turn or anything like that, but I have a couple friends who, like me, are now orphans. Like both of our parents are down.
Annie.
Are gone. Yeah.
Little Annie's, little Spencer's.
Tomorrow. And but some, I know a lot of them, just because of that, they always work or they do whatever on Christmas.
They don't really celebrate.
Well, they celebrate, I guess, but they're just...
It's a somber...
So what I try to do then is I try to go visit all them if I can on Christmas. I mean, within reason, the ones that I know on Christmas, and like drop them a little something off and just let them know. Because people did that for me too, and I really appreciated it after both my parents were gone. But anyway, I didn't get to do that this year because I woke up and I couldn't even take a shower. So I actually wound up going to the gym because I knew there would be a shower there, which actually turned out great because I really needed...
smart.
Well, I hadn't been like all December and I'd been eating like a butthole. So I needed to go to the gym and I actually
You actually worked out?
Oh, yeah. I stayed for like an hour and I needed it. So there was a silver lining to that whole thing. Like my water actually got me out of the house, out of my comfort zone.
You liked it? Did it feel good?
Yeah, it was
to
great.
be able to...
Well, it was great to be there on Christmas too because there was nobody there.
No one. I like it when there's no one at the gym.
I love it.
I won't work out if I'm surrounded by people. I get too paranoid, definitely by the ones who know what they're doing because... I don't know what I'm doing on these machines.
Man, I used to be like that. I just fucking got over it. Because like after the point where like when I go to the gym now, it's more like physical therapy. Like I'm just trying to like rehab all the car accidents I've been in. You know, like I'm just trying to like reduce pain. I'm not trying to like get ripped. Yeah, I'm trying to bulk up. You know, I'm not doing any of that. No offense if you are doing any of that. Like
right on. Get it, brother.
Get gains. But I'm just in there doing like regular sets and trying to do a little bite. And I actually felt a lot better after I did it. And I took my shower. So by the time I got home on Christmas, I felt fantastic. So when I did go out later that night and see people, like I was in a super good mood and you know, whatever. But we saw the movie Babylon. So I recommend it.
Nice.
I recommend it highly. So that Christmas was okay. It was good.
That's nice.
This friggin' cold, man. Jeez. Like when we were walking into our podcast studio today, the guy that owns this building is out there dealing with a burst water main. Like
Everyone's having like it's just water issues.
Plumbing.
Welcome to the South.
Also, I heard like a couple weeks ago here in Knoxville when it was we got tons of rain. It rained all week, and so the ground going into this freeze was super saturated, which. Somebody smarter than me explained this. What that did, they bury the pipes in the ground.
Yeah, so it probably insulated like the cold, like it froze and it's wrapped around the pipe.
Yeah,
so it's making them colder
exactly,
and making them freeze.
So you've got what they
faster.
call a frost line, and so what that basically says is when you put pipes in the ground, you bury them a certain depth, and the frost doesn't go further than that. So around here, a typical frost line is 6 to 12 inches. So as long as you put a pipe further down than that, it's not going to freeze because the ground just doesn't get that cold there. The moisture stays near the top. But we got all that fucking rain, and because of the rain, the frost line was very deep.
I bet it went to like 2 feet.
I don't know. It froze way down, so it just screwed everybody's water up.
Everyone. It was scary for me last night. I was slipping and sliding trying to go up these hills. Had to leave my car off Cherry Street.
Yeah.
Walk to the house where I'm pet sitting. I was watching Tacomas. Couldn't get up It didn't matter because even if you have 4-wheel drive doesn't do anything for ice.
Yeah, nothing does anything.
I mean,
ice.
the only thing
maybe tire chains. Maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say tire change is really the only way you can go when it comes to it. So I was just watching all these cars sliding up and down. This one red car, it just by the grace of God was no cars anywhere on the sliding, so it was like bare, and they came down one hill as fast as they're probably going 50 miles per hour and went straight up. For when I saw it, I was like, that's a clown car. Like that's what I thought. It was a itty bitty little Kia red car, and it was just zoomed right up.
Yeah.
And all these big trucks, even a tow truck couldn't make up it.
Yeah.
It was sliding back.
It's crazy, man. It didn't. The whole time it was like freezing, like 6 degrees. We didn't get any precipitation. And then the day after Christmas, like this weird, crappy snow came down and it froze immediately.
I wonder if this is going to be a thing now. Now that when Christmas comes around, we get really cold. We might get snow. We get snow the next day. Because last year we got a pretty good downpour of snow. I
don't know, man. I'm hoping that the weather at least holds out for the next couple months until we get to like spring. Because
I'm ready for that, humidity and that hot, it's just sweat. I can't stand this.
Well, like when we're like today when I woke up and I had left a bunch of my faucets on because I had the utility guys come out and check it, and they're like, nope, there's water at the meter, which means it was frozen under the house, and I was like, great. They go, just turn all your faucets on, so when it comes back on, it'll have no resistance. Like, oh yes, sir. So I had all these I had all my faucets running, and so today I was sleeping, and I heard, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, oh, thank God, it's 29 degrees, and I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong.
No water. Yeah, that's kind of what happened.
A balmy 29 degrees, but
it was good. Good holiday. Ready for New Year's.
Yeah,
I really am. I don't do resolutions.
Yeah, I don't. I think we talked.
I try
about
to
this.
have a better, at least just go in it being like with a better attitude, being like, I have some goals, but not really resolutions of I'm not going to do this year.
Right.
Some things like that, but
that shit comes back to bite you.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do on New Year's though now is order takeout and stay home. I'm usually asleep by 12:30. I have the last couple of New Year's.
It's the worst. I mean, and hey, if anybody's got big New Year's Eve plans to
go for it. Wear that beautiful sparkly dress,
sparkles, and the funny sunglasses that say the year or whatever. Hey,
blue suede shoes.
Do what you got to do, but it's the worst night of the year to go out. If you're somebody that goes out, because it's the ultimate amateur night. New Year's Eve is the night when people go out who never go out.
That's true.
I mean,
they're usually hammered by
bars,
10:30.
The clubs, the Ubers, the cabs, the streets, whatever. They're just clogged with people that are just not good at dealing with alcohol. And it is just, I don't know if
and it's always everywhere's packed.
And I'm definitely not trying to sound like a seasoned alcoholic, but it just generally, if you're above a certain age and you have certain bars that you like, which I do, and people, and just that it's easy to go out for a little bit and come back, and you know what I mean. Like New Year's Eve is your worst nightmare. If you like a nice out, if you like a nice easy evening, New Year's Eve is
not it.
Fucking.
I like
disaster.
to stay in. That's me.
I know people that would say, and I might even be one of them, but I definitely know people that say that is the best night of the year to stay in.
It is.
Because what a bloodbath. What a bloodbath it
You
is.
go out any other night and put that sparkly dress on.
Bro, the older
That's
I
how I
get,
feel.
I like going out on a Tuesday.
I will. Back in the day, I used to go to
I like a Wednesday
rave
night.
shows
I did too.
on the and nowadays that's not even what I want to do. I got some cute pajama sets for Christmas.
Yeah.
I plan on wearing those Christmas Eve. Me and my friend are gonna watch movies. We're gonna order some Chinese food.
When I came out of
these
the
Greyhounds
on Christmas Day, when I came out of the gym, I went there to like take a shower and poop and everything, and then I came out of the gym and I was about to go home, and I looked, and the Chinese restaurant next door was open, so I got Chinese food.
What'd you get?
General Tso's chicken.
Oh God, yes.
And I got it and I was just like in a Christmas story. I was eating Chinese food on Christmas Day, and it was great.
You didn't watch any Christmas movies?
I did. I didn't watch any of the normal ones, so I'm normally we and I've been asking everybody at work, what's your favorite Christmas movie? What's your favorite Christmas movie? A lot of the younger people say Polar Express these days.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. And a lot of people say Christmas Story. That traditionally has been one of my
Tradition.
top ones, was A Christmas Story. I did not watch it this year. I also did not watch one of my favorites, which nobody is required to like, is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's an amazing one.
I love it, and it's like crack to me. I can't turn it. If I see it, I just can't turn it off. Even when it gets really bad, I can't turn it off. But I did not watch
I like
that
it
one.
when he fights the reindeer.
That's the part. When he punches the reindeer and then gets drunk
Yeah.
with it, he gives it beer.
yeah.
That guy became the governor of California.
He did. He certainly
He
did.
he became a governor.
But we also had Trump for president.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
My favorite Christmas movie of all time.
All
and
time.
there's tons that I love. Like,
time.
and I think we did this last year, and we named them all.
We may have.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I love it. I love it.
It's
the first Christmas movie that ever absolutely made me fall in love with it.
yes.
As a
I still
kid-
watch it in black and white.
I do too. As a kid, I saw It's a Wonderful Life. I'd heard about it. I'd heard pop culture references to it, but I'd never seen it. And I think I finally saw it when I was about 12 or 13. And I cried. It made me all sad. I was like, oh my God, it's got such a good message. And I loved it. I also like White Christmas with Bing Crosby in it. I still like that.
like
That's a
the older
classic.
ones.
I do too.
I like the cartoon The Grinch, but Jim Carrey's Grinch is perfect.
Yes.
I did watch one Christmas movie. You said that you did, but it wasn't a traditional one. Which one was it? And then I'll tell you what I watched.
Wasn't what was it I watched? Oh my God. I was trying to watch just stuff that I hadn't seen this year. So, oh my God, there's a brand new one that's on Amazon Prime, and I can't remember.
It's not with Lindsay Lohan, is it? Because
No.
she's doing she's coming back into acting.
Coming back as like
And
a mom.
she did a Christmas movie, and it's like one of those Hallmark Christmas movies.
No,
and
I haven't.
she's like the big one, and it's called Falling for Christmas.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's the corniest thing. I had to turn it off.
Okay.
I watched Violent Night.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
pretty good.
I thought it was like a 5.
It wasn't-
I give it a 5 out of 10.
for a Christmas movie.
For a Christmas movie, it was okay.
For a Christmas movie.
It was funny. All the Christmas themed killings in it were okay. I liked it. All right. And God, there was another one I saw that was just like on demand, and I forget what it was, but I saw a couple of them that were okay. But the one, I got to say this, and anybody who follows me on my Instagram probably saw me post this, but while I was wrapping presents, I just wanted something Christmassy on, and I just went on Netflix, and I was like, just give me something. And the very first one I came to was Bad Moms Christmas.
Oh yes, Mila Kunis.
Listen, it's so funny. It's so incredibly funny, and nobody ever talks about it, but it absolutely deserves to be mentioned in the same sentence with Christmas Vacation, like all the really big funny.
Like
Elf.
it's that funny?
It's as funny as Christmas Vacation.
I'm gonna have to
It's
watch it
dirtier.
because I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix right now, and let's put it this way: I was laughing so hard all by myself that I was worried my neighbors would hear me in my house.
That's a good laugh.
I
love those type of laughs. Those are the best kind of laughs when
I
you're
was
by yourself.
violently laughing.
Violently.
And I think I'd seen it before. I liked all the Bad Moms movies because they really are funny. The writing's great, and the actors are great. Those are fabulous.
They are. They're fabulous
Kristen
women
Bell's
comedians.
Kristen Bell
They're
is
great.
amazing, and Mila Kunis is amazing, and Catherine Hahn. My God, what can't Catherine Hahn do now? Like especially after
Yeah.
WandaVision. Come on.
Yeah.
But she's so funny in it. And in Bad Moms Christmas, all of their moms show up and just make their lives hell at Christmas time in different ways. And they will wind up going to the mall and getting drunk, and but it's so funny. It really is really fun. It actually has like a really sweet like
Storyline.
it cadences in kind of a
Into
nice
it.
emotional way. But Bad Moms Christmas, put that one on your forever.
Y'all go listen to that. Go listen to that, or watch it. Watch
Yes.
it this week.
Put that on your list as a permanent contender of good Christmas movies. Bad Moms Christmas. It is that good.
I keep scrolling past it. I need to stop.
No, it's one to stop and watch. It'll be better than like the last 5 sort of Christmas movies you thought you were going to like. It'll be better. It'll be as good as like the top 5 you ever liked. I feel like it's that good. Also, we were talking about the original Rudolph, the stop motion, the claymation. I don't know. It's not claymation,
It's
but like
from the 40s,
with
50s,
with the abominable snowman
yes.
and the little
and they all move like.
dude.
I used
that
to watch that as a kid, and
that one
it's
is
amazing.
Still magical to me. Still magical.
Very
to
magical.
me.
They don't make things like that anymore. I don't feel like it's not as magical as it could be.
Let's see.
And my daughter doesn't believe in. This is the first year that
She knew.
after she found out Christmas or Santa's not real, that there is no Santa. So it was actually pretty nice. I did miss not doing like the flower and the boots, pretending that he's like walking around, or the cookies, and we move the elf on the shelf, doing all sorts of different crazy, bizarre stunts.
Yeah.
Didn't do that this year, so missed that. But it was also nice because it wasn't like I had to come up with extra things to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was busy this holiday.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to level out.
The world is kind of coming back to normal, I feel like, which is a hectic place to be, but we've kind of missed it. Like, 100%. So the holidays were good. Let's talk about the year. The year is ending. 2022 is coming to an end.
It is.
What the fuck?
What the fuck's happened in this
A
year?
lot fucking happened this year.
A lot of crazy. Ukraine and Russia's at war.
Jesus Christ. That was the big scary thing that happened.
Kanye's not a billionaire anymore.
My Kanye.
Lost so many.
What? Let me tell you something.
What a train wreck.
So, did you see Dave Chappelle's Saturday Night Live monologue?
No.
Okay, like anybody listening to this, if you haven't seen it, pause, look it up on YouTube right now. He opened talking about Kanye, and it's probably, I don't know, man. I'm famous for over exaggerating fucking everything, so almost to the point where people don't take me seriously anymore. But it's got to be the like 14 minutes of dialogue that cements Chappelle as the greatest stand-up comedian of all time.
He's amazing. I like the last ones he did where he was like, I'm not fucking apologizing.
Yeah.
And he was on Netflix and he was like, do this, and he didn't care. I don't care. Comedy is fucking comedy. If you can't learn to take a fucking joke and laugh at yourself and other shit, even though it's serious, just fucking laugh at it.
Yeah,
it doesn't make you racist when there's a stereotype. And
I feel the same way, dude. But he starts out talking about Kanye and all the shit he did, and then he goes into like talking about Trump, and it's incredible. But it's the most recent Dave Chappelle SNL monologue. I think it was the day after like the midterm elections and all that stuff that happened. But it's incredible. But he mentions Kanye and just about like. But I'll tell you this, like by now everybody's heard what Kanye said and all this stuff. But when Kanye is too crazy for Alex Jones, he was on the Alex Jones show right after all that, and he was wearing like a black hood over his face.
that's all he wears now.
Okay, well, and Alex Jones was like, so anyway, you said some stuff about the Jews, and you mentioned like some Nazis, and Kanye goes, well, the Nazis ain't all bad. They did some good stuff. And even Alex fucking Jones goes, well, I don't know about that. We'll get into that. I mean, like, when you're too crazy to be on Alex Jones, get him off the fucking TV.
Is it that he's crazy, or is he just so fucking egotistic that he literally thinks because he's a genius and he's done all these amazing things, he built himself up in this fucking ego monster that he has, that he thinks he can say anything that he wants, and he's not going to have, or is he legitimately crazy?
Go look at the Chappelle monologue, but he talks about like how he said like, I'm so powerful I could say even anti-Semitic things, and Adidas can't drop me. And they immediately dropped him.
Yeah, they did, and so did a bunch of other. Like they were like, nope, we're done with you. Couldn't even get into Skechers.
Yeah, refer to the Chappelle monologue because he talks about him losing the money and coming back into talking about being a billionaire.
We thought Kim Kardashian was the train wreck,
bro.
Makes her look like an angel.
I don't know, man. I don't doubt that Kanye, at least at some point, was a musical genius, But the guy has the amount of credibility. He has the same credibility with me now that like a crackhead has.
Yeah,
He's just
I think that's how it is with anyone. I wonder what Jay-Z thinks of it.
Oh my God. I don't know. So that happened. Kanye went absolutely bonkers.
Madonna doesn't look like Madonna.
That's right.
She looks like an alien, I think. It looks like totally different. I don't even recognize her.
Yes.
She's whole thing's nuts.
Yes.
It's not even just aging. It's what she's like, all this plastic surgery, all these things. It's crazy. I was watching a Kevin Hart doing a monologue about her and like there was a video, had her TikTok and what she's doing and then him talking. It was so funny. Feel bad for her. Republican governments down in Texas and Arizona are sending buses of migrants to Vice President Harris's house.
What are they trying to accomplish with that?
Just making a point with Biden's administration, like open border policy that they have. So they're just like, this is y'all's problem. Instead of them coming into our state, we're gonna spend $10 million is apparently what Texas has spent in sending immigrants who have crossed the border to like DC and other Democratic candidates and party people who hold office in the party. That's a waste of fucking money. You're spending $10 million of your state's funding to do that?
I heard that Florida did something like that. Like
any Republican is doing it. So like the governments, like their administration, Arizona's governor administration, sent one, I think even to like up in Washington, definitely sending them to a bunch of like Congress. Vice President was the most recent one, 150. Christmas Eve outside her house.
150 immigrants.
150 in a buses. Pulled up and they dropped them off.
What did she do?
Nothing. There were volunteers there who help immigrants trying to find housing and get jobs. And so they knew they were coming and they were waiting on them to help. But apparently Miss Vice President didn't do anything.
Well, she's a piece of shit anyway.
She's
horrible.
They've all like put statements out being like, this is dangerous. Someone could be on the bus and like come shoot her house or.
I mean, both of those. I think that's wrong on both sides of the coin. Kamala Harris is a total piece of shit. Like she's the biggest fucking crook.
You know, they really should. I don't think anyone's working on it. I'm sure there's groups or people who are, but I don't think it's anytime soon. They need to let felons vote. They make up so much of a massive population here in the United States.
Yeah, and they
just don't no voting.
Well, I didn't realize until I looked into the Kamala Harris thing from back when she was in California how much the prison system is a billion-dollar industry.
Oh, of course, it's massive, and most of them are for profit.
They have to work for free, so it pays for them. All the goods and services are produced inside the walls of federal prisons. That's free labor. Mm-hmm. And yes, I understand some people have to be punished and some people have to do time and there's a judicial system and I get it. But when you just keep people in prison so they'll work for free and produce free goods and services to like companies
benefit you,
dude,
you're a criminal housing criminals.
100%.
That's what you're doing.
100%.
And even there's state prisons that are funded.
Yeah.
That are for profit, that are, nicer than your regular state penitentiaries.
Yep. So look into that. When they talk about prison reform, that's what they need to be talking about. But people on both sides of the coin are famous. Like everybody in power is famous for keeping anybody that gets convicted of something. Why do you think that's another reason that goes again into the discussion about like why in the fuck is marijuana still illegal? Why? Well, because it enables you to put people in prison where they have to work for free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just in Kansas. I was reading on the news today. In Kansas, I forget which city it was. It was a small town. There was a terminally ill man in his late 60s. He's dying. Like he can't. Someone has to help push him up so that he can eat food.
Yeah.
He can't walk. He's in constant pain. He's dying from cancer. He's in hospice. He's in the hospital. He's hitting a vape pen with THC in it, eating gummies. His doctor told him, do whatever you need to do to help reduce the pain because obviously the pain meds aren't doing it. So he's gone to alternative medicine for it. A worker who works at the hospital called the police on this man.
Fuck.
They raided his hospital. He now has to appear in court on January I think 12th or the 13th.
Oh my! Leave these
has
fucking
to
people
appear.
alone.
He has terminally ill cancer. How the fuck are you getting him he might die before his court date. And
I
you
saw
did
it.
that? You called on a terminally?
Yeah,
you're
man,
going to hell.
I saw a thing recently where it said like one, I don't know, 1 ounce or something of like a tiny amount of THC has the anti-inflammatory effects or the pain relieving effects of 60 times the pain relieving effects of aspirin.
It's amazing. The certain strands. So the indica strand would be sativa is as well, but indica is one that's really strong in I know a lot of cancer patients use that one. It helps with hunger, the pain.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that they are able to that they have access to this in the majority of the country, but it's sad that in a lot of states they don't.
Yeah.
And they really need it.
Well, I used to talk about like a long time ago, and I haven't been a marijuana user for a very long time. I don't do it, and I don't have any problems with it, obviously, because I think it should be legal, and a lot of people they get good benefits from it. But here's the thing: I used to talk to people. I'd go, well, the reason it's not, nobody believes that it's dangerous because it's not. That's been proven since like the 60s, but the reason they don't want to legalize it is because they haven't figured out how to make money off of it yet.
Of course, that's always been the problem.
They can't tax it right. Well, now that they have all these like Delta 8 stores and like they've figured out how to tax it, and they've never had any problem figuring out how to fucking tax everything else.
No. And there's tons of states that are making tons of money.
Yeah,
it's right back into the economy.
Well, get ready because this year the IRS is coming after your Venmo, your Cash App, all of those things where you transfer money between you and your friends. They're going to consider that income, and they've hired 37,000 new IRS agents.
Are you serious?
Yeah, get ready.
Me sending my rent money?
You might have to prove that, or that person receiving it may have to prove that it's not another form of income.
Someone's paying me $5 for coffee?
They're coming after your digital transfers. So,
Great.
But when I learned about the prison thing, that made sense. Because if you can still put people in prison over it, then you can get free labor out of them. And that's more valuable to them than the money they'll make off of legalizing marijuana. Mm-hmm. So once again, it's a big racket. If you think the government is about to help you, if you think they like you,
think again.
If you think the government cares about you and they're trying to do something good for you, look harder. It's wrong. Anyway, that's enough of my conspiracy theory horseshit. But
what else happened?
In
Taylor
2022,
Swift?
Taylor Swift crashed Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
How did that all happen? So many people try to buy.
So yeah, it's just I guess they weren't prepared for the overflux of it, and their server just wasn't strong enough. I don't know. Taylor Swift had no control. She apologized, but had nothing to do. I couldn't believe people were really selling tickets for $32,000.
How?
I have absolutely no idea. I had some friends that got tickets, and this was all pre-sale because everyone did a pre-sale ticket, and that's what crashed Ticketmaster. So then when tickets were coming out, it was just like a whole thing. She's a great songwriter. I don't care for her.
She's not that great.
I don't care for her that much. All of her songs are the fucking same to me. It all sounds all the same. I have no idea how she's winning so many awards over all these other artists. It still baffles me. There's so many other artists that come out with new albums, and she's still just beating them out.
Yeah, man, I don't know. This year seems to have just flown by, and everybody always says that. I know they always talk about that, but it was a lot of crazy shit happened this year. I
feel like it was a pretty depressing year.
There were
good times, but a lot of ultimately some shit sucked.
I agree.
It just sucked. Gas is finally under $3. So I am happy about that.
So
I won $11 on a scratch-off ticket today.
That's a positive.
That is a positive. I'm good.
Inflation surged around the world. Oh my God, it surged so hard. Everything got so expensive.
Going to the grocery store is horrible.
Dude, inflation was crazy.
Did you know if you have a drug offense, you can't get food stamps?
I did not know that.
You can't get state assistance, even if you meet the guidelines and the qualifications for governor assistant or government assistance. If you have drug offenses, they won't. You can't get it. I just found that out.
That's ridiculous.
I can't believe it. What do these single mothers do? All these people who need it really bad, don't have jobs, on disability, can't get fucking food stamps.
The U.S. Supreme Court overturned abortion rights.
Roe versus Wade, that was a big one.
Yep,
Women lost
a bunch of their rights for that. That shit came back in November in the midterms. So that was one thing that was kind of inspiring this year. They got real involved in women's lives and like all this stuff, and it was bad. And then come midterms, there was all the economic or the political analysts were saying you're going to have this red wave. It's crazy, but they assumed that there was just going to be this massive wave of just people switching parties and voting Republican. It was going to be this red wave, and that did not happen because women went to the polls hardcore. We
were pissed. I'm still pissed.
They voted against the conservative idea of taking their rights away. So that was actually inspiring to me to see people like no, we're not going to do that. So I think they're bringing it back into the middle. We're just like, I don't know. I think there needs to be some kind of a political sphere in this country where just like regular people, and I know that's even dangerous to say at a point, like what's regular, what's normal. There's maybe no such thing, but just the idea that like people that get up and go to work every day and come home and try to take care of their families and like don't feel like people should have their rights taken away. Don't feel like people should be told they can't do certain things. And you kind of believe in like all of the equality. You know what I mean?
All
like,
equality.
Yeah.
We don't have to sit here and be like, we stand for one thing, and we're not super left.
Most people fall in the middle.
Yeah.
Most
moderate.
people are very moderate. Most people fall like,
we don't want government in our business. We want them out.
Yes.
But we don't care that you're gay and married, adopting a child.
Yeah, most
that's
people,
biracial. We don't care.
Most people have love, even for people that are different from them. Most people have tolerance. And so a lot of those things, a lot of the red and blue values are actually present in most people's lives. That's one reason the political sphere is so fucked up lately, because if you go online, they make you feel like you need to fight each other. You've got to be this like dark blue or dark red.
I always feel like I need to be quiet when I'm like in a super room. Like I don't have enough to like...
Yeah.
My contribution doesn't matter. I need to be quiet because I don't believe this or I think this.
It's become so fringe. It's become so incredibly fringe.
Tiptoe.
Yeah, that it's strange. Like that's not reality. In reality, most people agree on more things than they disagree on because we're all kind of having a similar experience. I mean, everybody's experience is not the same, but we all wake up and we go through it, and we go to bed and we get up and we do it again the next day, to a point. So I still think people have more in common than we do that divides us. But you wouldn't notice that if you go on the news and all this stuff. So again,
I don't even listen to the news really. Like I'll read stuff. Like I'm usually on BBC. I do CNN some, but like I try to gather my information from different news sources.
Yeah,
and I really like to know what's going on like around the world. Like China is sending like 71 aircrafts towards Taiwan, and South Korea sent a drone over to North Korea. It's like all this crazy shit's happening because that stuff does affect us, obviously, with the war with Russia.
Yeah,
and
I want to
Ukraine.
know like what happened, but when they start saying it happened and it happened because of like, man, they're like, there's the truth is always somewhere in between all the different stories you hear generally. But I hope that people can start to sort of like unite a little bit more instead of like focusing on that. Like I know so many people that like at the holidays didn't want to go see their families because somebody in their family is a Republican or somebody in their family is a Democrat or somebody in their like that shouldn't keep people away from each other at the dinner table. Like, you know what I mean? And I did see somebody really smart this year. I forget who it was, but it was a really smart guy that you listen to. He was on a lot of podcasts. But it said like the way to start healing all that stuff is, and that a lot of that started with the whole Trump administration, where you had this horrible president that was just real divisive and real mean, and the people who liked him loved him, but everybody else was just like, who is this dick? Like, I can't show the leader of our country to my kids because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And then that guy had to lead us through a fucking pandemic, which he did a
we had riots all over the United States.
My God.
Buildings burned.
My God. I mean, no matter I don't care how you feel about the Republican Party. He did a horrible job of leading a group of people through a pandemic. He failed to provide any kind of a unifying message. He was just a dick.
Well, he made history recently.
What did he do?
Did you see my post?
Huh.
So he's running. He's announced that he's running for president again. Like that's his thing, right? But he's made criminal history. He is being because of the attack on January 6th last year.
Yeah, the insurrection.
They're recommending that Donald Trump be charged with multiple crimes. And this is the first time Congress has ever recommended that a former United States president be charged with a crime ever before. He has shattered that. So they're doing a whole investigation of him. You know, we have his tax returns now.
Yeah.
And he's like, in his business part, they're all in fraud.
Again, I refer you to that Dave Chappelle monologue. It was so funny. He was talking about Trump's having all these documents at his house. And he goes, why is this guy? He can't even be like a guy that's famous for not being able to show up at his own press briefings. All of a sudden has all these classified documents. And Chappelle goes, I've been fired from a lot of jobs. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I took things. I took a mouse, a stapler, some things. He goes, you know what I never took? Work. I never took work from work. But he goes on about Trump, and it's just really, really, really funny. But dude, that I feel like that's when the big division started because you had people that are hanging on. I don't know, dude. It's just bad. I hope we come back together. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Hopefully we can. Hopefully this year will be better. We'll all come back together.
Well, they
we'll
say
have some peace.
A good starting point is to talk about what you agree on. Bless you. Bless you again.
Goodness.
They say if we start out talking about what we all agree, like if you're sitting across the table from a relative and you've got a thing with them and they're the super liberal, like whatever woke ideology, and you're kind of like a conservative, maybe you're like a churchgoer and that's weird to you. But anyway, start by talking about what you both agree on. Well, what do we have in common? Well, we all probably want our families to be taken care of. Yeah, I want that too. Yeah, I want that too. Well,
probably all like music.
Yeah, well, that's true. And we feel like people can be bettered through music. Yeah, hell, I do too. There's a bunch of artists that I follow too. And okay, great. So once you've realized that you've got some things in common, then you can kind of move forward like, well, there's some fringe things we don't agree on, but we can still team up. And that's when you go outside and you look to your left and your right and you see your neighbors. Like the people in your community that you exist with.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to fight with those people. You need to find something, even if it's just like let's like cook out together and have a meal, like talk to each other's kids or just whatever.
Just be nice to one another.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of and I think that's another reason I feel so drained is everyone's just been so mean. Yeah. Like everyone's being so cold. No one's supportive. Like they're just, I feel so alone. And I know a lot of people that feel that way. It's just, it's ugly out there.
A lot of people feel like that's only going to get worse as we go further into our addiction to technology. Like when somebody can get all their dopamine by like curling up in the corner and getting on their phone, then they don't have to do much out at the grocery store. Like that person becomes less inclined to smile and say,
let you in front.
Anything.
If they have, they have a full cart and you're standing behind them with literally paper towels.
Yeah. Or just laugh and be merry to your
yeah, your person.
You're just
be kind to your cashier.
Yeah, the person at the grocery store checking you out. Like, how's it go? Oh, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Are these good? Yeah, I should try them. Okay, great. Like, I love shit like that. I am such a fucking
Getting
cheeseball.
recommendations, your servers.
Yeah.
Be kind to them.
Just be friendly with other humans. Like, it's such a big deal. But I think we have a responsibility. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree.
As we move forward.
It's not hard, and it actually makes you feel good.
Yes.
I know that I'm a really kind person. Sometimes I think I'm too nice to people who don't deserve it, but I feel good when knowing that I've helped or at least have brought some sort of joy to this person.
Yeah,
I like that. My favorite thing in grocery stores are the little old ladies and men.
Oh,
I love to talk to them. I love asking them for help on recipes if I don't know what something is, and they get a kick out of it. Just being nice.
Yeah.
Just talking.
And I think that goes all the way through our biology. Like, I feel like before the internet, before the smartphone, before social media, we survived as a species and we survived by being social creatures. Like we survived in groups and packs. We weren't just loners that we're not built like that. We're built to depend on each other in order to thrive and take care of ourselves. So these days technology and society does a lot of that for us. But I feel like if we lose that personal connection thing, it's just going to be bad news, man. And I think we're only going to get more and more integrated with our technology to where almost you can't tell the difference between a person and a smartphone. Like eventually there won't be a phone. It'll just be a chip in your head. That's coming.
I hope not.
It's coming.
I really do.
But I think we've got to, and I know I sound like I'm preaching and I'm not trying to, but I feel like we've got to definitely got to take responsibility for maintaining that human I don't know, that human aspect.
Do that with your friends. I'm trying to do that with the people. Like, I don't have like a huge group of friends, but I have like you and my brother and my friend Jessica and like a few others that I'm like close to that like I check on and like, talk to on a regular basis. I think that's important. It's like check on your people.
Definitely.
You know, and be personal with them.
Well, and you never know, again, this is a theme we've talked about. You never know what somebody's going through. Who was that? There was a guy recently that committed suicide, a famous dancer. His name was Stephen Boss, and he was known as Twitch.
That's right.
He was 40 years old, and he was a public figure. He was on the Ellen Show all the time, fabulous dancer. I believe he was on one of those like Dancing with the Stars type shows.
He was very attractive.
He was on So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah, he's cute. He had a daughter. He was funny.
Looked like he had it all going for him.
You never know what's really going on deep down.
You never know. So check in with your people. And if you're maybe somebody that's going through it, talk to somebody. Get help. Please, like I posted a thing on my Instagram that I borrowed from my hero, Butch Walker, but it said it was the day that guy committed suicide. And it just said, look, please stay. You could go or you could stay, but please stay. There's helpers and they help. Like text this number, call this number, something. But yeah, check in on your people. I think that's important. And be good to each other. I think that's about. I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
No.
It says that in 2023, the world population passed 8 billion.
It did.
So that means there's more of us than ever before.
And less space, because we didn't get more space.
Yeah.
And the South is growing.
Queen Elizabeth.
Rapidly.
Queen Elizabeth passed away,
She
too.
did. That's a big one.
That is a big one. And when you live in America, like you understand, like the royal family is kind of a big deal. But apparently over in like Britain,
they're a massive deal.
it's a big deal. Like people were fucked up.
Like it was,
Yeah.
In
Europe, when a queen or like the Pope or somebody passes away, like people
Well, the
go
Pope,
down.
I saw that he just like, for his health, like he doesn't think that he's going to live much longer. So he's like doing getting right, whatever. I don't know what they call it, but
the next person.
yeah, like,
The next guy up at bat. The
starting
next
to
Pope.
do, I guess, all the paperwork.
Fuck. I hope I would love it if we got like a young, kind of like real adventurous, like kind of like conspiracy theorist type Pope that like totally opened up the Vatican archives and just like told us all the secret shit.
That would be amazing, but he'd probably get murdered before he ever could.
That's true. That's the Illuminati would come get that guy.
They would. I mean, and the Vatican is its own city with its own police. So he wouldn't even make it out alive.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know.
We're going to bunker down.
Well, I will say this: this is a shameless plug, but while you're deciding what you're going to do with the new year and humanity and this crazy political sphere and all the crazy stuff going on in the world, if you need a distraction, there is a new album streaming by local band Burn the City called "The Stars and Final Lie." It's available on Spotify. It's available on Apple, iTunes. It's all the places, and there's some YouTube, and you could stream that one and maybe see what you come up with. And we're actually going to have future episodes dedicated. So I'll break it a little bit down. I already talked to our singer Hunter. Spoiler: I'm in that band. If you didn't know, but I talked to our singer Hunter, and he's going to come in.
Amazing band.
You're
so good.
You're very
Everyone's
kind.
talented.
Very kind, and they all are big fans of Grace.
Very
Steele.
handsome. All handsome men.
I can't
Very
speak for
talented.
that, but if Grace thinks so, maybe we are.
Of course.
But
My word is bond.
that's true. Hunter's going to come in and he's going to tell us some of like the secrets behind the songs and like a lot. There's a lot of real personal stuff in it. If you just listen to it, some people think it's like I actually thought it was just like a space odyssey, kind of like a Coheed and Cambria type thing. And there's actually layers to it that are real personal to like. So he's going to come in and like demystify some of the lyrics and what they mean, and we'll tell the story about like when we were writing it and what that lyric meant.
Awesome.
So there will be an eventual episode about that. Stay tuned. We'll get into it, and there's going to be like an accompanying like comic, like a graphic
Yeah, I was
novel.
about to say, like, I'm super excited. I was like, tell him about the comic.
We got some stuff coming.
And
We got
some
some
merch.
stuff. Some merch.
We promise we won't make it 3 months until we do another podcast.
Not
We're
at
trying
all.
to get back into it. We've both been really busy. I've worked 3 jobs. Spencer's.
The holidays wrecked
Yeah.
us, but we're coming back strong, and we will see you guys again. We'll have some exciting guests this year. I can't wait to have some more guests.
Challenges.
It's definitely some more challenges. I think rumor has it that there's going to be we've done a light beer challenge. We've done
Regular beer?
We did regular, we did light, and supposedly there's going to be a
Seltzer?
seltzer shootout at some point.
I want to do a bourbon.
There could be a bourbon shootout. There's no telling, but the shootouts are a lot of fun, and they got a lot of response. So people loved hearing us guess what these alcohols were and react to them, and maybe even get a little boozy on the show. You know, like
A little boozy. Hopefully, nothing like the bomb where we got sick in the end.
Well,
I apologize for that, but that was rough.
I liked Brandon Cobb suggested. He goes, we could just have nice food and talk about it.
Eat different food, being like, get some Indian food.
Yeah, we could just have a good dinner and go, I like this shawarma or whatever, instead of just going,
try this white chicken.
hey, this fucking hurt. Maybe we don't have to kill each other. So we'll go into, a lot of people talk about pizza. Like there's a lot of good local pizza, like local places. We could try some of that out, and maybe we'll do some pizza episodes or whatever. Who knows, man? We'll you guys let us know. Again, reach out. You guys you know how to contact us through social media, through internet. You can just look up the Beacon House or text one of us, or just get a hold of us. Let us know what you want. We will make it happen. If anybody's got a cool story you want us to look into, that's another thing we need to do. We need to do another book club episode. We need to get together with our bro Leslie. She's a big reader, and
need to get that started. That's important.
We need to pick a book so we can all read it or listen to it. For me, it'll probably have to be listened to it, but get into that. So anyway, but thanks for being with us in 2022 and sticking with us. We hope that you're all good, and we hope that this next year is the dang best year ever.
I hope it is too.
I hope so. Grace, I love you. Thank you for being here.
Love you too.
And everybody, to all the Beacon House listeners, please have a safe and happy new year.
Yes. Don't go out. Just stay in.
Yeah, stay in and listen to Beacon House. Hey-o.
Oh, my.